The workhorses of the Miami Heat defeat the Wonder Kids of the Boston Celtics in an eye-opening 6-game series. Vince.
Dude, just do it. Come on, I'm waiting. What?
How you doing, bro? I made something for you, pal. I was thinking about you. What's up, guys? Welcome to Buckets and Chill, the Retrospect.com's official NBA podcast. I'm your co-host, Javier Faustino, and I'm joined by my grieving Celtics fans, Vincent Pao and Andre Santos.
What's up?
How you guys doing?
It's a very sad time. It's not even sad. It's more like that feeling of like, it's like when you don't care, but you do care. You know, it's like it hasn't set in yet. You know. It's like that.
Still need to process
yeah,
it.
you need to process the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're like really wondering, like, damn, did we really get eliminated? Yeah, it's
Well,
still surreal, but like, you know, it is what it is, boys.
I'm just sad because I got the prediction wrong. That's it.
No
That's
love.
basically it.
The first
L.
Dude, you see Tatum, like, I think
Dude.
he's gonna cry, dude. It's so sad.
The Heat deserve that.
They
I'd
do
be
deserve
sad.
True.
I'd be sad if the Celtics were like the more deserving team and they didn't make it. But Heat,
Yeah,
bro,
true.
they earned that. They earned that.
I see that shirt changing
Oh yeah.
allegiances.
No,
Yeah.
you know it's Heat,
What
but
is that shirt?
that's
What is that
LeBron.
shirt?
It's a big three shirt.
It's a big.
So
is
just
Captain
remember,
America?
I'm wearing
Why is
this because it's LeBron and Heat. That's it.
Why is
but-
Captain America?
They're
It's
America's
a
heroes,
customized shirt.
Oh,
Big three.
is
I don't
that
know, some
Bosch?
custom.
Wait,
Yeah, Bosch and Wade. It's a big three shirt. Yeah.
Dude, I thought you're a Spurs fan. Why do you have that
Yeah.
shirt?
It's my dad's. He's a Heat fan.
Oh my! So
It's a
did you guys,
traitor.
like,
Dude,
buy
I
it?
only have two
You guys-
Spurs merch. That's it. So
Who?
sad.
Who?
Sad. But
Duncan.
Robert Horry and a
Horry?
Tim Duncan. Yeah, dude. A Robert Horry jersey and a Tim Duncan shirt. Yeah, that's it.
Why do you have a? Where did you get that?
Jersey groups. Yeah. That's been my hobby, my new hobby in
What,
jersey
getting,
collecting.
Like, getting like
quarantine.
role player jerseys.
No, I started getting vintage jerseys, but then
Oh.
now it's starting all Nike now. But yeah.
Not
Dude,
pro.
don't buy into it, Andre. Vince is stalling because he knows what's gonna come.
I know. Didn't expect that
So-
also.
The workhorses of the Miami Heat defeat the Wonder Kids of the Boston Celtics in an eye-opening 6-game series. Vince.
Dude, just do it. Come on, I'm waiting. What?
How you doing, bro? I made something for you, pal. I was thinking about you. So
So we're gonna watch it now.
well,
Do I watch
roll
it?
the tape. Yeah, we'll
Let's
roll the
watch
tape
it.
real quick.
Now?
Yeah, go ahead. Like-
I don't know. The Celtics are the more talented team, right?
It's not much, just something small. Here's
Do
the
you
thing,
think
guys.
Tiger Hero
I've been-
is gonna do the same, like, get those points against the Celtics defense?
I've
I
been-
don't think so.
They have marksmen extraordinaires in Tyler Hero and Duncan
Okay,
Robinson.
Tiger Hero's not
And
a
obviously we know how
marksman
important
Oh my
the 3-point
God.
shots are.
Duncan Robinson
Yeah.
is a marksman.
Dude
Tiger
getting
Hero
straight
is
up
not a
exposed.
marksman. He's a decent shooter.
So who do you have, Vince? Who do you have winning this series?
Even a question. I was gonna
How many
say,
games? How many games?
I didn't want to piss off everyone, but I would say Celtics in 6 or 5.
You had to put that
Celtics in 5.
Dude, I hate you so
Celtics in 5.
I tried- I tried to warn you, man.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat are full of dogs, so don't be surprised when these dogs bite. I told you that the Miami Heat wanted it way more than the Celtics did, and I predicted Heat in 7, but that was my mistake for giving the Celtics a bit too much credit. You know,
No, I'll be the first to admit I was very wrong. Okay, I'll admit it now.
yes,
I was very wrong about the series.
what an honorable man.
And it wasn't though like I just thought the Celtics were the better team, and then
Yeah.
But
for
then
sure.
midway, I realized that the Heat are actually the better team, and I would analyze the series all I want. Like I could point out all the X's and O's and all these
Yeah.
adjustments, but when going to the series, it comes down to the Heat were the better team. The Heat played better. The Heat played harder. The Celtics lost, and
Yeah,
that's my.
good man.
Yeah.
And at least like what you can rest on is that the Celtics have a really bright future, and you have a lot to be excited about as a Celtics
Which
fan.
we cannot even talk about today since you don't want to.
Yeah, not today. This is a finals preview.
The
What about you,
finals,
Andre?
nobody want.
Thoughts on the vid, Andre?
That's well, kind of the same because I said Celtics in 6. You know, kind of hurt also about that. But what makes me
Yeah.
laugh is the Tyler Hero
Yeah.
part. Come on, bro. The dude torched you for 37
That was
points.
tough.
And you thought, dude, I never doubted him. Though.
Vince was,
What are
he
you-
was man enough to. Yeah.
The thing is,
Vince was man enough to say that he was wrong,
Yeah.
and props to him. But I feel like he owes Heat Nation, Paulo Loxin, Josh DeVera, Patrick Perez, Robbie Jaworski. I feel like he owes them an apology.
no, the thing
What he
is,
said.
this happens every year, dude. The Celtics do this every year, and it's getting tiring already for me. So, you just you might as well go for it. You know what I mean? Like 2018, we took the Cavs to 7 games and we got destroyed by LeBron in the 7th
Yeah.
game. And like, obviously the hype was there already, right? So we thought we were gonna make the finals. The next year we got Kyrie back and everything. So you have to like say like, oh dude, this is the team, this is the year. And then that was a complete abomination of a team. And then this year, we were chill, dude. I was in a good state. I was like, okay, the Celtics are not gonna make like a real. They aren't like the biggest threat in the East, but they're gonna be like a low key dark horse threat. And I was
Make some
fine with
noise.
that. Like I was fine.
Yeah.
Second round, Eastern Conference Finals exit. That's fine. But then the bubble happened, and the bubble kind of like this magical, like chance you have with the bubble where you find out that Giannis is eliminated, and then there's no home court advantage, and then it's just
Yeah.
everything's so weird. The Clippers are gone. Then it's like the best opportunity the Celtics get for the next, I think, 5 years. Because what? The Nets are going to be back, and then the Heat are just going to keep getting better. And I feel like this was a really golden opportunity for us.
Yeah.
Then the media
And it
started
was-
saying, "Oh, dude, the Celtics are going to make it. The Celtics are the favorites." So you kind of buy into all of that, and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
you know what? This is the year. This is the 2 years ago now, dude. There was always a clear problem. In this team, no, there's none. Then yeah, the same thing happens again with the Celtics. Just
It was, it's sort of ironic because the Celtics and the Heat, they both had a Cinderella story in mind, right? Like basically what the Heat just did now is what the Celtics were trying to do. There was like these extraordinary circumstances of the bubble, and then the Bucks were out, so they were like, "Oh my gosh, like this is our time."
yeah.
right?
And unfortunately, the Heat were victorious.
Yeah, but yeah, I said it. I can complain all I want. I could point out everything. It comes down to the Heat were the better team in 6
Yeah.
games.
And a big factor was the Heat winning the first 2 games, because like them pouncing
Mhm.
first, the Celtics had to make that adjustment. Game 3 won that. Then when the Heat make the adjustment Game 4, they win that. Then the Celtics make the adjustment Game 5. Like that 2-0 lead was so big in a way that the chess match started in Game 3, and just getting alternating wins. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could have easily
something that was
been
big
1-1,
was
right?
yeah, it could have been
Could've
1-1.
been
But
yeah.
something that was really evident Game 6, the adjustment was getting Bam aggressive. I think everyone knew
Yes, sir.
how good Bam played. But I
Mhm.
think the big key was forcing Thais. Do you guys remember that play in the third or fourth, where he kept attacking Thais?
Yeah, off
Yeah,
And then-
man, they made him like a
Yeah.
point forward.
Right.
down.
And then
Yeah.
Thais
Yeah.
didn't stand a chance. That
Dunked
was so
on him, dude.
that was so big because not only did Thais foul out, but they were forced to play Grant Williams, who was good defensively because of the switchability. But on offense, their zone wasn't the same without Thais. Because
Thais,
Williams didn't touch the ball once offensively. So I think that was the biggest adjustment in Game 6.
Oh, are we
Really
gonna
created the
talk
gap.
about Game 6? I mean, I have a like. Are we gonna go straight to the? Because I have like.
Yeah, we can delve into Game 6. So like, in Game 5, Bam had 13, 8, and 8, and I agree with Andre. I said that, Bam needed to put his imprint on Game 6 for the Heat to actually win, and he ended with 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. on 73% field goal
Crazy.
and 90% from the free throw line. Like that's absurd. And I said that in a previous episode that I think he got snubbed from All NBA third team, and Andre will like this. So I'll take Bam Adebayo all day over Rudy Gobert. You're with me on that, right?
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
But isn't
I'll take Bam Adebayo
wasn't-
over Carl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
You're with me on that.
Yes.
Is Bam
Okay, but
listed
here's
as
the
a
thing.
Center.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
center.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Definitely a center.
So this is where Andre and I will probably disagree.
Oh my
I'll take
God.
Bam Adebayo
Oh, no.
over Joel Embiid, man.
No. Dude, okay. I already had doubts before these playoffs if we were gonna put Bam on the same level as Jokic and Joel. But you're gonna put him second. Oh my. Okay.
Wait,
I'll
so
put him
wait,
over.
who's your best center in the NBA right now, Javier?
My best center in the NBA is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, mine also. Who's your second? Bam.
I think off the top of my head, it might be Bam.
There's
With AD,
no way.
where AD's a 4, right? So
Yeah,
AD's a
AD's
four,
a four.
AD's a four.
Okay,
I'd put
AD's a 4.
I'd put Embiid over Bam easily. That's not even a debate, dude.
But it's not like who's more talented. It's just who, like when you're building a team, who do you
Well, it
want? I
depends
want Bam.
what kind of team you're building. It depends on your other players.
No, but just regardless. I'm just saying in a
Your
vacuum,
foundation.
I'll take Bam. Yeah.
Embiid.
You know
Fantasy
why?
draft.
One,
2K.
yeah. Health is such a big factor, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Bam over Embiid in that sense. And then Bam was what? All NBA second defensive team. Yes, Joel Embiid is a monster on the defensive end, but Bam's going to give his heart like every single night. And it's showing now that you can build a team around him because they're in the finals. Like look where Joel Embiid is. I know he's in a dysfunctional
But first of
organization,
all, the Heat
but you don't know what you're going to get from Joel Embiid night to night.
are not building a team around Bam. It's kind of like Bam's fitting into their system. You get what I mean? It's not building a team around Bam.
No, dude, the system is Bam. Bam is the
Bam
centerpiece
is not
of the system.
system. The Heat system is it's like a collective pieces of like ball move, everything, dude. They're not building around Bam, and you know that Bam's not even like he was the X factor of this series, obviously, because the Celtics that was coming into the series. We all knew that Bam was that problem. When as a Celtics fan, like Bam is a threat. How are we gonna contain Bam? So they played through Bam a lot. But if you watch the Miami Heat play, they don't directly play through Bam. It's
They
not.
do. He's their point. He's like their point forward. That's why he averages like 6 assists in the regular season because they play an inside-out game with their bona fide shooters in Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson. That's like their team is literally built around Bam's ability to facilitate and be the anchor on the defensive end.
I think
So
Bam and the Joker, they're the same in a way where they're playing most of the time on top and creating off there and passing to cutters. And even when they're in the post, it's more of to pass, you know.
Yeah.
The Joker showed his post moves, you know, a lot in these playoffs. But Bam not really, but he has the time to work on that. But I think if Joel does work on that also,
What he's capable of.
his passing skills. Dude, he's my top guy.
I still pick
He's
Joel.
just
Too. Like, it's
Dominance with skill.
yeah, dude. His dominance and his skill would.
Well, no, but okay. Granted, like Joel Embiid, if you're trying to win like a game, like one game, and you need like 40 and 20, yeah, okay, I'll take Joel. But just for an entire season, an entire organization, like a career, I want Bam. He's just healthier, 1, and 2, he's 23, Joel's 26.
Oh, but we were
And-
talking about all NBA though, so it's for this season. So
No, I'm not talking about all NBA.
but
I'm
you
just
just-
saying, who would I take?
Yeah.
Like, who will I just take? Who will I build my organization around? I'll take Bam.
I just think we're gonna see more of Embiid when he's not with Simmons. I was
He's
a
not
big
on the
Sixers
Sixers, you
fan.
mean?
Yeah, I just don't think they're the perfect fit. Not unless they can find the system, find the coach this offseason who's gonna be there. So, but yeah, going back to Bam, great series, but over Joel. We'll have to see these
okay.
finals.
I
We'll have to see
anticipated
these
the-
finals. Maybe
The
if
disagreement.
he can show how he plays versus AD, I mean, might change my mind.
If the Heat, you know, if they take the Lakers far, or if they actually like win the championship, it'll be difficult to argue. I think
but
like,
what? Oh, depends.
Embiid over Bam.
If the Heat win.
Yeah,
Well,
if they win.
Can we go into that now? Are we done with the Celtics, or am I gonna?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, last thing on the Heat. In Zach Lowe's podcast, there were reports that the Heat were extremely high on Tyler Hero, so high that they believed that he had the ability to be better than Devin Booker, which is a
Damn.
big deal, obviously. Yeah, and normally, yeah, all organizations they hype up their marquee guys, but we know how talented this Heat organization is when it comes to developing players. So what do you guys think about that?
Think about what, Tyler Hero being better than Devin Booker, or the Heat thinking that Tyler Hero?
Yeah, his like how high Tyler Hero can ascend.
I don't know if Vince is the right guy to ask though.
No, dude,
You're not wrong. You're not
I am the right. I am the right.
No,
guy.
but he
I'm
did
the
call
right-
him MJ in the middle of the series, so maybe Vince.
Dude,
is the
I witnessed the
Yeah.
destruction.
He was the victim of Tyler
Yeah,
Hero.
exactly. So I would be the right guy to call. I think the comparison is actually fair. I think their play
Mhm.
style, the thing with Tiger Heroes makes him so good is I feel like it's just natural to him. And one is his
Yeah.
confidence. Two, it's just how natural he moves without the ball. How
Yeah,
he moves with
like
the
the
ball.
feel for the
Yeah,
game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
hmm
And he never misses
And everyone
a damn mid.
everyone knows that Tyler Hero is like he's a sniper from downtown. It's a big deal that he averaged 20 points per game in the Eastern Conference Finals. But man, he has some handles. Every time,
does.
like sometimes he's like between the legs, behind the back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Tyler.
Yeah.
And then he's a great rebounding guard. He was the second leading rebounder for the Heat in the conference finals. And then the last point, which is really big for him, is that he's a quality secondary playmaker.
Yeah.
Like he was running like pick and rolls and finding Bam on some rolls. And that was a big deal against the Celtics.
But if you guys remember in Game 6, the last game, he had some turnovers off the pick
Yeah.
and roll. And I think it's not even because of the skill level. I think it's the physicality. I think
And
that's
like
where
4
he
or
really has
5.
to improve, like getting bigger, getting stronger. And it's funny because a few of these guys, namely Ja Morant, Trae Young, Tyler Hero, so skilled. But
Mhm.
when teams draft, they're thinking of that, like, are these guys ready for the physicality of the NBA? But because of the necessary skill required in the league today, people aren't really so focused on that anymore. And it's paying off. It shows. And shout out also to Kentucky, man. Like you said, D-Book. And then in the
Jamal.
conference finals, you had Jamal, and then
Bam.
AD,
Yeah.
Rondo, Bam. My God, the dogs. Like, okay, we can give credit to the Heat, but like, go back to the roots.
Yeah.
Like these guys are
Man.
dogs also.
Okay,
it like goes without saying, one of the best development programs in the United States.
For sure.
Kentucky.
So, yeah. So, and I think, go like off that Kentucky point, they recruit so many high quality players out of high school that it's difficult to project how these players will end up because they have to sacrifice parts of their
Right.
game by playing with other
Yeah.
really good players.
Yeah.
That happened with Tyler Hero. That happened with Anthony Davis. Like,
Wait,
it's just
I have like a counterpoint though against Kentucky or whatever. But
Go.
I feel like
What's
my
up?
opinion is, how, and we talk about this with a lot of schools. Is it really them developing their players, or is it just because they get the chance to sign the best players? It's one
That's
year.
true. Okay.
It's 1 year.
true.
Yeah, it
True.
is.
School.
I guess, in this one and done era, it's harder to give the schools credit for development.
They say that a lot about, and this is everywhere too. It's not just basketball. It's also in
Yeah.
like, you can argue like Harvard or whatever, but like in most schools, like let's say here in the Philippines, UP, there's also an argument like, are they really the best school, or do they just get the best people coming out of high school?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's always an argument. But like when
Definitely
it comes to college
debatable.
basketball, like 1 year in Kentucky, can you really put it on them like, oh yeah, we developed these players when they're already in high school, they're already like averaging 100 points per game every single like Tiger Hero was
That's
already,
very true.
was already like what, a stud in
Yeah.
high school.
True. Like
So-
they never win in the NCAA, so I don't know. But I think it really boosts their
You,
confidence.
what about you?
Being
Ashley?
under
you're a college
Calipari.
baller. What's your opinion on the development in that
development thing, yeah, it's a big factor But it's different here in the Philippines because it's a different kind of game here.
Really.
In high school,
well, you do
it's
stay
more
for,
focused.
you stay for you still you people stay here for much longer. Stay
Right,
4
yeah.
years in college.
Right,
compared
right.
To the one
And, like, basketball's a bit different here where there's not enough science yet, not enough strategy yet, and it's more of individual skill.
but it's just
you know.
interesting because like more people are shifting to like no college and then just going straight to the G League or playing off seas.
Hmm.
Like they're trying to go away from this college thing where they kind of get stuck. And it's like there was this tweet also about Tyler Hero. If Tyler Hero stayed in college, he'd be like slugging out a 51-48
Yeah.
victory against like Virginia or something, and he'd have like
Right.
13 points. I don't know. I feel like the NBA, its development in the past decade compared to college ball, it's so far, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
why can't the like NCAA copy that development game.
I
college
think
ball.
part of the reason is because the NBA is just as like a culture more progressive than college. So by being progressive, like players are asked to do more and they have to have a more well-rounded game. So they're able to like develop an all-around game. Whereas there's like very defined rules in college.
And a lot of the
I-
So
time,
they're sort of like one-dimensional.
I think
at
I'm
times.
anti-college. Like, if you're good enough, go to the NBA, dude.
yeah.
There's no
And a
point.
lot of the
That's not-
times you see guys were unexpected. Even these Kentucky guys, like you never saw Tyler have a game like the 37-point game
in
he
college,
had versus
right?
Celtics in college. Like
yeah. It's
there's
not like it
really
made it-
it's their confidence, believing that they deserve to be in the NBA. I think
Yeah.
it's a lot of psychological factors, I think.
Yeah.
it skips.
So I think to cap off this Celtics Heat Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics future is really bright. Jason Tatum's impending superstardom, Jaylen Brown's
Impending.
stardom, yeah, he's not a superstar yet, not in my opinion. But Marcus Smart's immense impact
Marcus Smart
Um,
shooting 22 shots in Game 6.
that killed him. Yeah, the health of Gordon Hayward and the size of Kemba Walker; those will be concerning factors for the Celtics in the foreseeable future. Brad Stevens is a good young coach, but he got outcoached this series by Spo. And it's nice to see Spo getting the credit that he
You
deserves.
see that picture from
And
in the
in the video
Yeah, that was
director.
cool.
Yeah. That was cool.
He's half Filipino,
And-
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But he comes here though. He always comes here apparently in summer. I
I've never seen him actually.
He has
Yeah.
these NBA programs. Things. He has family here. Right?
Filipino pride.
So moving on to these Lakers Heat finals. I see these 2020 finals in the mold of the 2004 NBA finals between the Lakers and the Pistons.
So they're gonna lose.
And what I
The
mean
Lakers are gonna lose.
by that is like the Lakers had two generational superstars in Shaq and Kobe, and now they have two generational superstars in LeBron and AD. Shaq and LeBron are like the aging superstars, while Kobe and AD are the younger superstars, and they're ready to like receive the torch. And in 2004, the Lakers were heavy favorites, but they got upset by a gritty, hardworking team in the Pistons. And the Heat have a chance to do that this series. But I'm hoping 2020's a
So wait,
different
if you're
outcome.
comparing it, so you think the Lakers are gonna lose? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think the stage is set for something like 2004.
No, but
All
what
of the-
do you think is
the-
gonna happen though?
We'll get into predictions
Dude,
at
you
the
can't
end.
Wait,
So we'll
compare
break
it.
down
Let
like
let me give my take. I agree that the Heat this year are like the 04 Pistons.
yeah.
But there's no way that the 20 Lakers are like the 04 Lakers. Let me just say why. Like, okay, first factor. Shaq and Kobe,
Mhm.
the relationship, that was like almost the end. Like, of course, we know
Facts.
that they went to the
Yeah.
he went to the Heat, but like it wasn't good anymore at all.
For
and
sure.
then
Toxic.
04 also. This was the time Kobe had the rest in peace. Sorry, we're talking about this, but this was the time he had this scandal.
Mhm.
You're familiar with that?
No,
Let's not go into details.
Kobe was terrible in that season.
Yeah.
I think you look at the
Well, he was going back and forth
Right.
between
Yeah.
games and court.
especially
and-
the playoffs and that finals. Kobe was absolutely terrible
Yeah.
in that finals.
Then Karl Malone barely played in that series. He was too old. Gary Payton
Dude, that was
still
like
effective, but too old also. Derek Fisher
that
was even
team was
getting
like
more playing
A
time.
free agent like
Yeah,
get
true.
the biggest names in the free agent.
yeah,
Like
get
the
some
name
big
brands.
names.
Yeah.
Derek Fisher was playing more, and that was the year where he hit that .4 game winner over the Spurs. But anyway, Robert Horry also left that year. No more big shot Bob.
Was Rick
So,
Fox still
yeah.
in that?
dude, I'm just saying also that as much as they were the favorites, they were an overrated team because of
Yeah.
the names and the
And
time.
also-
The name
There's so
brands,
many.
yeah.
You have
There's
to
so
take
many
into account.
factors.
It was gonna be their fourth in a row, and from there, like motivation
No,
kind of
actually,
goes down,
they were going
right?
for fourth in 5 because 0-3.
Yep.
you
Oh, wait, yeah,
I know
sorry,
my-
sorry. 4
the
and
Spurs
5.
won that. Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, but the longevity of just like your 3 championships
Right, right.
already, and then
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
same saying. Oh, the Lakers haven't won. The Lakers haven't won
Yeah.
since 2010,
Yeah.
so it's different. They're motivated. LeBron's motivated
Yeah.
to prove everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
what else am I gonna say, dude? You always do this. Javier always does this, guys. He's gonna make 2 predictions. He's gonna say one of his predictions is that it's gonna be an 0-4 series. Then he's gonna say Lakers in 6 later.
No,
so whatever happens,
no,
Javier's
here-
gonna go like, you know what? Looking back,
No,
I
no.
called it.
I'll clarify it for Vince because it's hard for him to understand for some reason.
Dude, you can't
I
make
think
2 predictions. You can't say
There,
this is
no, I'm drawing a parallel between
The Heat and
the stage of the 2004
Right.
NBA Finals and the stage of this Finals. My prediction that I'm gonna lock in is Lakers in 6.
But
Nothing else.
if you say
Nothing
Lakers
else.
in
It's
6,
just Lakers
there's
in 6.
nothing alike then from the 2005 finals.
It's just the characters.
Yeah,
I'm just pointing out the
characters.
parallels.
different
Yeah.
outcomes.
Yeah, different outcome.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, so I think there are 3 major factors in these finals, and there's no one who knows LeBron's weaknesses and tendencies more than Pat Riley and Erik Spoelstra.
Agreed.
So I feel like, yeah, they just saw it like, especially like that meltdown that Vince loves to bring up of LeBron, like, what was it, 2011?
11.
Yeah.
I'd argue against that though. I think all teams know LeBron, but they just can't adjust to it. It's got.
But I feel like, if you have like one of the best coaches in like Erik Spoelstra, then
Who coached him?
But tell me,
who coached him?
like, what
Yeah.
can they do though? There's no game plan that actually like goes against how LeBron plays. It's not like there's
But
a one trick switch.
they
you
know
But he
their
knows like what
tendencies.
makes him. Yeah, they know what makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Because I was thinking like if they go into a zone, LeBron's he's a smart NBA player.
Yeah.
He's probably the smartest NBA
But
player.
This is where we have to remember Spoelstra's best skill, which was his first job in the NBA with the Heat, video coordinator. So, dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's so important now, especially when you're playing a team like the Lakers, where because you know you can't stop LeBron, you know you can't stop AD. They're just too good. You don't have the skill to match that. So you go to the film room and you just give yourself the best chance by giving them their weakest, like giving them a range of choices and forcing them to choose the weakest choice.
You think
know,
Spo's just
tendencies.
watching tapes all night
Dude,
about
I swear, I bet they're
see
spending
the-
70% of this break watching film and
you see the
30%
reporter
practicing.
right
It's more
after
watching.
they were given the trophy. He was like, "So what's your plans on LeBron?"
Oh yeah, and
then
he just like,
Spo was like, "Dude, let us celebrate this moment right now."
Oh yeah, he was like, can't we just
Yeah,
have
I
one
know,
night?
right? It's like,
to-
it's like a party, and then you're like, "Oh, so you how's your exam tomorrow?" Something. But yeah, back to what Andre said about the thing. Okay, here's my take now. My argument about the Heat possibly winning the series is the Lakers
Yeah.
have the best 2 players, right? We can agree on that.
Mhm.
I think the Heat have like the next 7 best players,
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
or the next 8 even. Like
No, I mean that's a bit of a stretch. I agree
let's
with
count
you
it, let's
that.
count it. Hero better than everyone in the Lakers,
Wait, no, let's do it in
Okay,
order.
Bam,
So
Bam.
LeBron, AD,
and then Bam,
Bam,
Butler,
Jimmy,
Hero.
Goran Dragic,
Goran.
Dragic,
Okay.
Hero.
Hero,
What's how many?
and then
is
I'd put KCP.
that?
KCP.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
KCP over
Okay, with the way he's playing.
Robinson.
But he just
I
seems
would
so
put
out
KCP
of
over
place.
Rondo. I mean,
KCP over Robinson and Crowder.
yeah, I would. For me, maybe.
Okay, then there's like a
The debatable.
a random
I think-
KCP
Yeah.
there.
I think I'd put
Yeah.
Robinson. I'm not sure
I
about
think in
Crowder.
term- I think
Yeah.
about game.
But
like game impact, I put Robinson over KCP. Just
Yeah.
because Robinson has
okay.
the ability to change a game so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though, Vince. Let's say if you go like 8, 9, 10 deep, the Lakers only have 3 players in there, and the Celtics have like what 7? Sorry, the Heat have like 7.
Oh, someone's
or
still in your
something.
head, No, yeah, but that's my entire like why I think this is actually gonna be a close series between because when you look at the
Yep.
lineups and you see LeBron, you see AD, and then you're like, oh, who's next? Then you just look at the Heat players and you can see a bunch of weapons
Yeah.
that could actually hurt you.
And it happened against your Celtics. Like every single game, there was like one different guy who popped off.
There was like
In
a
Game
one,
6,
the
Yeah.
Heat have like one.
in Game
extra
6, it was
guy.
Andre Iguodala who, went 4 for 4 from 3, had 15 points. Like,
So annoying,
You know-
bro. Out of all the games he had to pick
know.
that damn game.
dude. And then like the episode before that, you were flaming him. You were like, if there's
I know,
anyone who I
probably-
want shooting,
probably,
it's
you
Andre
probably went on
Iguodala.
the pod and like, who the fuck is this Chinese boy? What do you?
This
decided to-
dude. But you know what I'm curious about? If Robinson's gonna be effective defensively versus the Lakers.
Who's he?
He
gonna-
kind-
They'll
he
just
stayed-
hide him, dude. They'll just hide him
On
though.
versus the Celtics, he was pretty good. But I don't know about the
Okay,
No,
here,
no,
yeah,
no.
here I'll build off of your point, Andre. That it was gonna lead into the second factor of this series, the Miami Heat zone. I feel like, that's a big deal because the Lakers are notorious for their struggles from the perimeter. So when you have that zone, you don't really have. Yeah, they don't play man, so they can hide their weaker defensive links like at the back in the second row. So you have like Dragic, Herro, Robinson. And that makes life difficult for the Lakers because if you saw in the Nuggets series, LeBron was hunting your young goat MPJ, and he can't hunt anyone in the Miami Heat zone because it's gonna be Jay Crowder and Jimmy Butler and Derrick Jones Jr. at the front line.
You know what's a secretly like benefit of the zone like that no one takes account for like, and I noticed it like you don't get as tired playing zone compared to playing man.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
Definitely.
Your fatigue is significantly less by playing zone. I
Because-
feel
And that worked.
You're not
That
chasing
worked
anyone.
in the Celtics.
You're not
Yeah, that
chasing,
worked
you're not
against the
following.
Celtics because
you're not like,
they were fresher in the final moments than the Celtics were.
and it's gonna work against the Lakers more so because like obviously the Lakers are gonna log in AD and LeBron to
Yeah.
max minutes
Yep.
and everything.
With the zone, you're gonna limit LeBron drives. And you're gonna force KCP, Danny Green to make shots. Please, Danny
For sure.
Green, like, make some shots, man. But imagine the difference now is instead of Thais in the middle,
Anthony.
Thais Game 5 he got a lot of open looks if you remember, setting flare screens, then getting the middle floaters and mid-range shots.
Yeah.
Imagine instead of Thais it's AD, dude, that's money range for him.
That is money.
So,
that's where he
Imagine
makes
if AD's in the middle, and then let's say they do play centers, Dwight or JaVale, there are gonna be a lot of lobs versus the zone.
Yep, for sure. And I think one thing that the zone gives up, which will work in the Lakers' advantage, is offensive boards. So with those offensive boards, that's like AD and Dwight's bread and butter. They're gonna terrorize the offensive glass of the Miami Heat. So that the rebounds were a big factor in the Lakers Nuggets series. Whoever out rebounded the other team, yeah, pretty much won the game. So we'll see how effective the zone is because, like you said, the other shooters they do have to step up.
Yeah.
And one thing that the Heat have going for them also is that they have so many bodies to throw at LeBron, and bodies that do historically well against LeBron too. So you have Jimmy Butler, who's 27 and 27 for his career versus LeBron. You have Iguodala, who's the Finals MVP. He won it because of his defense on LeBron. And your boy Jay Crowder, Vince. Maybe he can channel his like Celtics defense days. But I think the wild card for the Miami Heat will be Solomon Hill. Like, will he
Wow.
come back from being
Solomon Hill?
stranded in the deserted island?
How is-
And will he
did-
randomly get 4 minutes of playing time in the finals?
So-
Like, why did he even play against the Celtics? Like,
Yeah, he didn't
What
do
was
anything.
he in the rotation?
That was like just to rest Butler, I think. They do that. Butler
Yeah.
rests for like significant amount of time, start of the fourth and second.
Sorry, it was like the most useless 4 minutes I have ever seen in my life.
But since you mentioned the X factor for the Heat, let's say it is Hill. You never know.
It's not it.
I think for me, it's for the Lakers, it's gonna be Caruso. I
it's a good
think
shout.
because Caruso, of course, he plays a lot of shooting guard. So we hope that he does make shots. He's gonna get a lot of open looks for sure. But
He's been shooting so badly
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
But with the zone, what you also get a lot are cuts. And you know, when AD, because something that's unusual is going to the post in a zone, but the Lakers love doing that for some reason. Maybe it's because they attract doubles. So off the doubles, you need a lot of cuts, and Caruso's the most active guy aside from LeBron. Well, sometimes LeBron's just standing around, but
yeah.
Caruso
Andre,
loves cutting to the hoop.
Who you
Yep.
cheering for? Who you for?
I don't know.
Are you going Heat?
Don't be confused by the shirt. I'm just wearing because it's Heat and LeBron.
Are you going
But
Heat?
I mean,
I'm
you were
going
rooting for the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm going Lakers.
You're going for not predicting. You're cheering for the Lakers.
I'm not necessarily rooting for anyone. My prediction is just the Lakers. But if the Heat win, pretty solid, dude. Like I
So-
love
no,
that.
but, like,
I love the
deep down
underdogs.
inside, search it in you. Who do you want to win the series?
Let's just. Oh my god, it's so tough for
Are
me.
you like Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade doesn't.
Don't
know.
forget, man. LeBron's your favorite
Yeah,
player of all time.
LeBron, right?
Yeah, but the
And
Lakers.
even guys, LeBron's my favorite player, but MJ's my goat. So there's so many factors for me, but I think I'd like to see the Lakers win it. But yeah, I'd like to see the Lakers win it. Make that
So,
clear. But
can you just
I
say
wouldn't
it, like,
mind
who
as
you
well if the
cheering
Heat won. Dude, can
don't
I
you wanna
wait? Can I just share something?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the picture of Duncan Robinson's text to some guy from the Ringer?
The Ringer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like dude, that hit me hard. Like when you don't know that what you're gonna do and you're uncertain about your future, and
Yeah.
he was willing to go into media. Like, damn, respect, man.
I have
Like,
this feeling that like you can be the most unskilled basketball player in the world, but like if you can shoot like at a rate that rate, you'll have a
Yeah.
chance. Because I feel like shooting is just like it's a priceless skill.
yeah,
You see NBA
Yeah.
players who can't even dribble, like Kyle Korver, then they're in the league, and Kyle Korver is like what, one of the most how many? I think he's like top 10 now, most threes, top 5 I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think top 5.
and 17 years as well, like LeBron.
yeah, and Duncan Robinson's on that way too. I don't know. I just feel like shooting more than anything, like it's one of the skills that you can have stand alone and still have like an effective basketball career. That's
So what?
the
Do you think
premium.
you can play in the
It's
NBA?
the premium. It's the premium currency in the NBA shooting.
No, in basketball in general. I
Yeah,
think.
or just in basketball. Yeah.
Height and shooting, I think.
Vince beat me in a shooting contest, so I need my revenge.
When was that?
Looks
That
like
was
Vince has a higher chance of making the NBA.
I did beat you. When was that?
did.
That was after a game, right? Your game.
Yeah, that was after a game.
So Vince,
Alan.
you're
I
rooting for the Miami Heat.
beat Blake
Yeah,
too.
I'm
I
assuming.
beat Blake, dude.
Wow.
What? You get so mad.
Wait, so
Me-
are you cheering for the Heat? Are you cheering for
Yeah,
the
bro. Beat LA. It's in my.
Damn.
The thing is, it's in my. It's
Did you
my
memorize?
blood.
Did you memorize the chant already? It's pretty difficult.
What's the chance?
It's like beat LA. Nothing else. Beat LA. Like, it's literally just
No,
that.
it's the same thing. With the Heat, it's the same. It's
Yeah.
the same. Beat the Heat. Beat the.
Yeah,
Beat LA,
yeah.
Beat LA. Yeah. The Celtic fan in me has to go against the Lakers, and it just makes more sense, you know, you losing to the team that won the championship. Like that's gonna look good. Like, oh, the Celtics lost to the Heat, but the Heat beat the Lakers, so it's fine. And obviously the 17 rings thing, that has to take account. Like I really, if the Lakers were to get 17 rings, I really wish it was against the Celtics. Like they beat the Celtics, but this year, like, if they tie the Celtics and the Celtics weren't even there to beat, like to try and contest that, I don't know. I don't want it.
I mean, the Lakers were waiting for you, man.
Yeah, that's
Y-
why
you didn't come through.
That's why I'm going for. I think I'm gonna go for the Miami.
Javier, remember this. You have a new clip for the future.
No, I don't think Miami's gonna win. I said
No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
cheering
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
Like-
I think, yeah, obviously I'm rooting for the Lakers. Do I have to even say that? But it'll be difficult for me because I've been riding hard on this Miami Heat hype train.
They're not
so,
they're not an unlikable team. That's the thing.
yeah, not at all.
And they weren't even like we had this rivalry with them back in like 2012, 2011 with
Mhm.
LeBron. But like other than that, these past 3 years, it's always been Philly, Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, and it's been those four teams like since LeBron left, or even when LeBron was still there. When LeBron was still there, it was those four teams just like trying to jockey for like a good position around like
Yeah.
LeBron number one. Then those four teams just trying to figure it out. And then when LeBron left, the East was open, so it was those four teams. So the dislike I have for those three teams is so much higher than my dislike for the Heat. Because the Heat only became relevant this year, you know. So it's like a relatively new rivalry compared to the...
Guys, last year the Heat had Dwayne Wade in his like Last Dance tour, and then they had Dion Waiters as like one of their
Dion
starting
Waiters
guards,
is going to
like,
win a ring this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either way. If they want to give it.
Dude, I find that
If the
rule
Heat wanna
so
give it.
dumb. I'm pretty sure Dion was more detrimental to the team than helpful. Dude.
No, but it's for the Heat. It's at the discretion of the organization, so they can choose not to give him a ring.
Oh, they
Yeah,
can-
not
did
required.
Did any team
Yep.
like not choose? Was any team like, "Yeah, no, screw you, dude. You didn't do anything for them."
I have no idea, honestly, because you only hear about the ones that do.
Like I know
receive a ring.
Varejao did like, I think he went from or
No, he
went from-
lost.
Yeah, he lost.
wait.
right?
Yeah, he
Or
lost.
did he
Yeah.
win?
He lost. Then I don't know if the Cavs gave it to him. That was the 15-16, the 3-1
Yeah,
comeback.
yeah.
'cause he went to
from
the
Cavs
Warriors.
To Warriors
Yeah,
and then they
yeah,
yeah.
lost. So I don't know if he got that. Ring.
Yeah. So who are your X factors, Vince, in this series?
Is it wrong to say LeBron James? Like if LeBron James just like you
Can he just be LeBron
Dude,
James?
you saw it in Game 6. He played amazing. He
Oh my gosh.
like
38,
yeah, they had no
16, and
chance,
12,
dude.
no
that was
turnovers.
a LeBron game, and you think in the finals, like, is LeBron just gonna impose his will? Like, is that what this series is gonna be? LeBron saying, the thing is, he smells it. And you see it in Game 6. He smelled it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is it. This is.
Dude,
the
it's like
finals is
so
good.
close.
And
Yeah.
I would know. I'm traumatized. Game 6, LeBron James in 2012. that
Tough.
was the look. And I would say, like, okay, maybe there's an X Factor, Caruso, whatever you guys said. They'll make a difference.
Yeah.
But like, I think overall, the series just comes down to one thing: if LeBron James is gonna play like LeBron James,
True.
and the Heat, like they'll have their X factors too. But like, I feel like at the end of the day, if LeBron just imposes his will, like, I think that's the X factor of the series. And Davis is an amazing player. I already know what I'm gonna get from him anyway. So yeah. No fancy X factors here. I'm rolling my dice with
yeah.
the best player in the series.
For sure. I'm with you with the LeBron take. My fancy X factors would be, I would say KCP for the Lakers, just because we need at least one or two players who can hit threes to win games. And for the Heat, I'll go with the same as from the Celtics series. I would say Goran Dragic, because
Goran Dragic. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
he was instrumental in the Celtics series, just his facilitation. And that's interesting because I feel like it'll be KCP versus Goran Dragic, like for the matchup on the Lakers defensive end. So KCP, like, he needs to do as good of a job as possible
Yep.
to lock him up and not let him find Duncan Robinson and Herro for 3-point shots.
Do you think they're gonna target anyone? Because I'm just
On
glad
the
we don't have to
Lakers?
watch Kemba na. Because it kind of makes it corny because you kind of expect every play they're gonna go at Kemba. But I don't know about the Lakers. Like,
I
it's the
hated
end.
like the Kemba thing. I hated how the refs didn't give him a chance. I mean, I know he's
That's
a bad defender, but those two fouls in the start of Game 6, like, come on,
True.
dude. Just give the guy a chance, bro. He's like 5'10" or something.
Just like give him some leeway.
Yeah, I
like, you
mean-
know he's such a bad defender, so give him a handicap.
And that ruined the game too. I mean, he couldn't defend with those two fouls.
yeah.
I think it might be Kuz.
The X
Oh yeah,
factor.
they'll attack Kuz.
Yeah.
They'll attack
Oh,
Kuz.
who they're gonna attack?
Bro, in the Eastern Conference Finals, there were these back-to-back plays where MPJ pulled up, like he received the ball and then he pump faked. Kuz went flying.
Yeah, the same. Oh my.
The same play, and it was just so frustrating. Like, Vince, can you imagine this guy might be a champion? Like,
It's like
when a guy rides on the group,
Did
gets
Pat
an
ever
A.
tell you the story of his coach in high school, Andre?
No.
Because Pat was the point guard of the team, and that coach hated him. And I'm sure I can tell the story. Pat won't mind. But then he tried
Gonna
to
get
go
exposed.
for this block. But I don't think he got the block. And the coach was like, "You are never gonna block a shot in your life." Like the most demoralizing
Oh my.
thing, right?
Dude,
I'm
come on, Pat's
Oh
supposed
my
to be
God,
Rondo.
Pat.
Getting those blocks.
Sorry about that, Pat.
Never jump. You're the point guard. You're never gonna get a block in your.
Has to go for those strips, man.
I was laughing so hard because I was there and I was seeing it. I was like, oh my god.
So that's the Pat comparison I've been looking for. Kemba Walker.
No, it's not. It's Rondo, dude.
It's Rondo.
God.
He's
It's
a bigger Rajon Rondo.
Who's a defensive best?
Yeah, Pat get those steals, dude. Those pickpocket steals all the time. Like Rondo.
when they cross you up and pass you already, and then you pick it from behind.
Attitude also. Attitude.
Oh.
Kidding.
All right. So predictions for this series. I have Lakers in 6. What about you guys?
I honestly think it could go 7 games. Just because
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that.
Just because I think the Heat can hang in there. I don't necessarily think maybe that they'll win it, but I feel like they can hang around. And that's the thing though. The Heat they're so good at hanging around. Like they're down
Yeah.
like so many points and they just come back.
Dude, they were doing against the Celtics. Like it was like 16, 18 point leads for the Celtics.
And it was so weird
and
because
then-
they were the better team. They just
Yeah.
we'll take it serious. You know that like in the game and you're like it's like 5-0. And you're like, okay, game na, it's okay.
When they're playing video games and then.
yeah.
But I got, the Heat are really talented, really deep. I got the Lakers in 5. I think
So
Th-
worst
this
case
guy was
scenario
just
is in
saying, like,
6 for me.
5 seconds ago. Oh yeah, it could go 7.
No, that's the thing. It could either go Lakers in 4 or Lakers in 7. It can go either. either
Looks
one
like
of
the
those.
gentleman sweep is their thing, so hop on the
yeah,
trend.
man.
But
And that's a big deal by the Lakers part because no one has brought them past 5 games. Like that's pretty dominant. Like, and it's not like their opponents have been pushovers either. So
they become pushovers when after the Lakers win. You know the argument always changes like, oh dude, the Blazers, the Lakers are so unlucky to praise the
Yeah.
Blazers. Then after that they're like, oh dude, they were against like a destroyed Blazers team. Like who was even on that team? Damian Lillard?
Skip is like the number one like performer of that.
And then the Rockets. Same thing, dude. The Rockets come in like James
Like,
Harden.
oh my
James
gosh,
Harden-
this
oh.
revolutionary micro ball. And then
James Harden
And
goes,
can I just
"Oh,
say though, I'm just glad the Warriors aren't the finals anymore. Thank God.
you don't miss them.
dude, I'm very excited for the Warriors to come back.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I miss
kinda
I miss
them,
having
dude.
Steph Curry in
Yeah,
the game.
kinda
man.
that's
miss them.
true. It's really entertaining, but just a nice, refreshing look on the finals.
Yeah, very true.
You
Lakers
guys-
Heat.
You guys think this series is gonna be fun, Andre? I know you're a Laker hater. When you watch them,
Laker hater.
no, when you watch
No,
them
play
play,
style wise.
you
Like
don't
is it
find
gonna
them-
be
You don't find them fun at all.
Yeah, I know. I love LeBron, guys, but yeah, I don't necessarily love how the Lakers play, but it can be entertaining because we have one team who
Is there any
relies on
beef?
their system and one team that relies on their physicality and their
Any
bully
any
ball.
bad
So
blood? No.
let's see that clash.
Is there any bad blood
Yep.
between? No.
Nah,
Right.
I think it's good.
Ooh, there is. Thank you for reminding me, Vince. There's one storyline.
Ooh,
so-
I don't know this.
Tyler
Oh,
Hero
Kuzma's
is
ex.
dating, Kadia Elise Henry, and then that's Kuzma's ex. So we'll see if Kuz can rise to the occasion and be like,
it's the
Who's
perfect-
dated everyone?
Dude, it's the perfect two guys to have that type of beef. Kuz and
I know,
Hero.
right? Like just the two
The two
guapo
guapo
boys of the
guys.
team. And dude, Kuz in the Western Conference Finals, every time Michael Porter Jr. made a shot, he jacked up a shot on the
Yeah,
other end because
yeah.
he felt threatened by like how good looking and like well performing MPJ was. Like for some reason, every single time, right?
Yep.
Like he jacked
I-
up a shot.
Dude,
I also observed that.
that's just natural though. Like you drop one on me, I'm gonna drop one on you. Right? That's just
And Katya's in the bubble, ah.
Yeah.
is.
Is she?
She is. She storied it. So
Yeah, she was like, I gave Tiger a good reward. She said something like that in Twitter.
wow.
Oh yeah, after the 37.
But he's not even legal. Damn.
Dude, he's
She's 26.
already
She's
just
6 years
crazy.
older than him.
Oh wow.
It's crazy, dude. Did my research on that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time, and remember, come through with buckets and chill for all things basketball.